Welcome to the Toyota Esports Challenge, and we have something special for you today. Now, my name is Tickle. I am a shoutcaster, GMAX over here, a sim racing commentator, and we get a lot of a hard time. People always say to us, oh, those who can't race, commentate. But I argue that those who can't race become motoring journalists.
I mean, that's spicy. I like the intro. I think the motoring journalists might have to prove you wrong here. I think coming into WRC, they're going to have to bring. I mean, we've seen the stages that our previous drivers have gone on. Hasn't been easy. So I'm interested to see what they bring.
Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get some of South Africa's best motoring journos, and we're putting them into WRC now, and we're going to show them what our Toyota Gazoo racing drivers have been through, what our professional sim racers have been through, what some of our influencers have been through. And today, they get to race, and the winner gets to be called the fastest motorsport journalist online. I suppose that's what we're going to call it. So this is going to be a little bit of fun. Racing a track we haven't seen yet, but in a country we've been to already.
Yeah, so I mean, we have been up to Kenya before, so it will be interesting to see what stage they've picked up here for them to drive in. And I think, like I said before, WRC is not an easy game to master, and if you haven't even given it a little bit of practice, it's going to be a bit difficult. So I'm sure these guys they've warmed up.
We're going to find out.
Let's jump into it.
Jumping into our first race, we've got two races for you today. So the first one you're going to see is 4 journalists who are playing on an Xbox. Then we'll go onto the PlayStation and the PC. These 4 guys are getting ready. What do we think about this track?
Ooh, so this is going to be that tight circuit of. I mean, it's pretty much a racing circuit now. They start at that same point that they finish. So a little bit different here in WRC. They're out to this first stage, which of course is like a time trial. So they're obviously racing the clock. Justin seems to be racing up at the front here.
Well, he actually, just jump in, he was a passenger to Janelle DeVitt, one of our Toyota Gazoo racing drivers in real life. So maybe he picked up, as I say that, maybe he picked up some tips, and then maybe the tip was to just go up the side there like that, do a little ramp. We're now watching Samuel. He apparently plays a lot of WRC 9 games, and he always wins the media challenges on certain race days. So maybe Justin and Samuel, the two to watch?
I mean, Samuel is up the front here, and Justin is second behind him at this stage. So he's waiting for Samuel to make that mistake, going through that right-hander as we see it, then into a tight left-hander. You've got to be careful not to roll off, and there he goes. That's going to cost him dearly. Justin going to take over the lead now. Just look, those the limits of the circuit there are going to flip the car over instantly. So they have to be very careful not to run too wide there. Justin manages not to flip the car.
He keeps saying you need to go slow and steady, but he's going quite fast. Nikesh, a car journo, he actually writes for Car Magazine. He hasn't had a lot to say. The other guys were quite confident in their performance. He just kept quiet, so maybe just keeping it cool, and you can see there, moving into second place. He's letting his driving talk for him. Avon, though, he actually has raced real races on real tracks, so maybe hopefully going to bring some of that to the party. He's going to have to do a catch-up very soon.
Yeah, I mean, they're all driving quite consistently at the moment. I expected to see a lot more cars off track, so all doing a good job to perform pretty well here and keep things nice and tidy. Justin up at the front here goes under the bridge. You did see a ghost in front of him. Not quite sure. Again, it's the time penalties that we saw in the previous stages that will compound against him. So Samuel on the circuit is ahead of Justin, but because of that time penalty that he picked up. Oh, and Samuel also going to run wide there. Justin then going to maintain that lead or take it back over as they go through that hairpin. Samuel chasing. He's rolled the car again.
I think that the pressure of Justin, Samuel's going a little bit too fast, maybe just overshooting the corners a little bit, because that's really what this is about. This track is quite nice. You can open up, but you've got to be careful because those turns can throw you off. There's a hairpin in there as well. So you've got to be able to slow down, go fast, slow down. Like Justin said, maybe slow and steady is the way to do this.
Yeah, I mean, we do know when it comes to online, when you only have one shot to do it, it's always better to get the car across the line rather than try and go for that best hot lap performance of your life. So you do have to take it a little bit calmer. You can't make mistakes, and Avon there, big mistake, he's flipped the car too, so he's going to have to reset himself back onto the circuit. Justin looking confident, coming up to the line, and now will cross it, takes the win. He looks pretty confident as well.
This is okay, he's bragging, but Nikesh, the car writer, who's very quiet and impressive, second place there.
How you win WRC.
Listen to this one talk. What a big mouth. Oh, Justin, I got some sim races you need to meet, my friend. They're going to put you in your place. All of them finished though, so they're going to be really excited about that. Samuel, unfortunately, the WRC, I mean, he says that he's been playing this game a lot. I think just got a little bit too excited, had a couple of bad tumbles there, turned the car over. But definitely, I mean, Justin's looking very confident. Yeah, he's got to meet our sim races, I think.
Justin definitely taking... I mean, he took the win in his lobby, so he's allowed to be happy and confident, I suppose. But it's going to be... There's still some drivers to maybe top that time, right? So, I mean, they're still competing, even though they're on different platforms. So
we'll see if someone can be a little bit faster on the other consoles.
We're going to have to wait and see.
Our next lobby is good to go. We've got 2 of our motoring journalists racing on their PCs, and then we've got Michael from Zero to Turbo. He's going to be on a PlayStation. They're about to go. We can see Ashley here. He's actually the only South African GT Academy winner. So he went from PlayStation racing to real world racing. He's won a couple of real races as well. So I'll be excited to see how he does. Sean as well, you can see over there, he actually karts in real life. So this will be an interesting one. And Michael as well. I mean, he's actually driven with some of the best drivers in the world. So let's see if that real life experience can beat Justin's time.
Yeah, I mean, Justin kind of left it all to play for. Somebody's going to have to beat him. And I hope it's somebody from the PC side. I'm a bit of a PC enthusiast here. So Sean and Ashley representing on that side. And of course, Michael out on the PS4. So it's going to be tight. It's hard to really compare where Michael is. We're going to have to see where he comes out at the end of this one. Sean and Ashley, though, they're very much comparable. And right now, up front, Ashley leading the way and looking quite nice and consistent out on the circuit.
Michael having a lot of those fishtails as he goes, just getting a feel for the car, maybe trying to see they're all in sim rigs, but Ashley looking quite impressive.
I mean, as you talked about that with Michael, you can almost see how he fights a lot with the wheel in his sim rig cam when he is going through those situations. So he is trying to keep it on the circuits, and keeping that foot flat is sometimes difficult to ask. Is look how fast he's coming in here, just throws the car into the right hander, as does Ashley, looking smooth. Is Ashley up at the front? He's got 2 seconds on Sean at this point, so looking good. That time of Justin's might be under potential riskier from Ashley. I mean, out through that hairpin again, clean exit.
This is looking impressive, but more so Sean is keeping it up with Ashley as well. The 2 of them are sort of neck and neck as they go through the tunnel here. Michael as well, all looking pretty confident. As I said, that Sean takes a little bit of a bump, but he holds it back together. These guys are looking really good. This is like a smooth run for them, the pros. As I said, that Michael, again, doing that little fish thing.
He saved it, and again, if you do send it off here, it's a big loss to your time. Look at Sean, through that hairpin, that was smooth, that looked buttery. Coming through, and now Ashley again leading the way, coming up to the line in just a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds should I say. He's got the next couple of left-handers to go before he sees that line, so it's flat out through here for Ashley. Sean is just down the road from him, so it doesn't look like he's going to catch up unless Ashley makes a big mistake here.
This is what's great about this track though. You can see the changes in the gravel. You've got those jumps, you've got the tight turns, the open spaces. It really tests your driving ability. And Ashley's cruising through this. I mean, you can see that he's got that real life experience and his PlayStation experience. Michael now going through the finish as well. As I say that, Ashley, oh no, what have you done?
He did cross the line.
He just got over there.
So luckily the timing boards are just ahead, so he'd gone through the timing sheets, comes up there.
There we go, that leaderboard up there, and Michael sneaking in at the top. What a time. He takes it, didn't see that coming, but also my favorite part about this is all 3 of these guys smashed Justin.
They did. So Justin's bragging rights going to be taken away almost immediately by these guys, but it's Michael. He's the overall champion of this.
I think it was a bit of a surprise for us because Michael, obviously on the PlayStation racing by himself, didn't expect that time, but there we go. Michael, Mr. Zero to Turbo, you are the Toyota Esports Challenge Motoring Journalist Champion. You get the bragging rights. Maybe they'll send you a little trophy, but definitely next time you're at a media day, you're racing those cars, I suggest you run up to all the media, especially Justin. Sorry, Justin. And you can do a little bum wiggle and be like, I'm the champion.
You can also put it in your Twitter bio as well. I think it's an achievement.
We're the WRC 9 Toyota Esports Challenge Motoring Journalist Champion. Also, at the beginning, I gave them a bit of a hard time. I said the motoring journalists couldn't drive. They've impressed me. Such good sports, jumping in here, playing the game with us, and really actually, I mean, look at that time, incredible from all of them. So good on all of them, and maybe we've converted some of them to the sim racing world.
I hope so. I'd like to see them around soon.